Hello dear friends, welcome to another video lecture of Strength of Materials. Now those of you who are watching me for the first time, let me introduce myself. My name is Aprup Rao, MTech from IIT Kharagpur in Mechanical Systems Design. Then I was recruited on campus by Mahindra and Mahindra Automotive Sector. So I worked there for 2 years in their research and development wing. Then I quit my job and I started teaching. So I've been teaching for more than 6 years. I've taught thousands of students preparing for GATE and engineering services, and I teach subjects related to design, strength of material, engineering mechanics, machine design, and theory of machines. So you can see, my friends, I've always been associated with design since my MTech. I've always been a part of design, and I guarantee you, if you keep watching my videos, I will make you fall in love with design too, my friends. Okay. So on our YouTube channel, Unacademy Gate ME, which is an official video channel, YouTube channel of Unacademy, we have been posting live video lectures of all the subjects related to mechanical and civil engineering, my friends. So keep watching these videos, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you will get the notification whenever there is a live video session, my friends. All these video lectures are live and all these video lectures are completely free of cost, my friends. So don't forget to like and share these videos to all your friends, my friends, so that we can reach to a lot of students, my friend. This is free education for all, my friends. So please try to share this to all your contacts on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, wherever you can post these videos. Please share this to as many students as you can so that we can reach to millions and everyone can get free education, my friend. Okay. All right. So I've been telling you about our YouTube channel. Now there is a limitation on YouTube. I am not saying that you can't prepare for any exam just by watching YouTube videos, but there is a limitation of YouTube. You can't have any doubt sessions. You can't post your questions on YouTube. You can't have that one-on-one doubt session with your teachers. So if you don't want any type of restriction on your learning, if you want that complete classroom experience means you'll feel like you are sitting in a classroom. You can talk to your mentor, you can talk to your teacher, you can post your questions, you can post your queries in real time, my friend, live. So if you don't want any kind of restriction, if you want complete classroom experience, subscribe to Unacademy Plus, my friend. Unacademy Plus is India's largest online learning platform where millions of students are learning from the top educators of India. So subscribe to Unacademy Plus for GATE and engineering services. If you take one subscription, you can watch all the videos related to GATE and engineering services from any educator you want. Whoever educator you like, you can learn from him in real time, means live, if you take only one subscription, my friend. 1 year subscription, my friend, only cost 1 year subscription only cost 25,000 rupees. And if you use my code, if you use my referral code APROOP10, you get 10% discount, my friend. You get 10% discount. So it will only cost you 22,500 rupees for 1 year, my friend. Means for 1 day, it will about to cost you 60 rupees only. So in 60 rupees per day, you can learn from the top educators of India live. Okay. So don't forget to subscribe to Unacademy Plus and don't forget to use my coupon code APROOP10, my friends. Okay. All right. So let's start with our videos. Now today's topic is shear force and bending moment diagram. Yesterday we saw some really interesting concepts related to shear force and bending moment diagram. Today what we are going to do, we are going to draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams for all the beams, simply supported, overhang, cantilever, all the beams under different loading condition, point load, UDL, UVL, couple. We will consider a different loading condition and we will draw all the shear force and bending moment diagram. And I will tell you a very easy procedure to draw these diagrams. This procedure is very useful in competitive exams because in competitive exams we don't get too much time. So we can't draw the diagram, we can't write the equations. We have to draw the diagram quickly. Okay, so we can't write the equation and then find out shear force and bending moment. We have to draw the diagram quickly. So I will tell you a very simple procedure which will make shear force and bending moment diagram very easy to you. Okay, all right. So yesterday we discuss this under three loading condition, how the shear force and bending moment diagram will look. Okay, this is the basic concept of shear force and bending moment. So we discussed three types of loading condition under which you know how to draw shear force and bending moment diagram. Okay, so the first loading condition is when there is no load between 2 points A and B. Okay, the second loading condition was when there is a UDL between A and B. Third condition, when there is a UVL between A and B. Here W is 0, here W is constant. W is what? Load intensity, load per unit length. So W is 0, W is constant, and here W is proportional to X. Okay, now I told you that if you integrate W, you get shear force, and if you integrate shear force, you get bending moment. Okay, so if you integrate 0, what do you get? You get a constant. So shear force diagram is constant from A to B. Okay, if there is no load, shear force will be constant. If you integrate constant, what do you get? You get X. So shear force diagram in case of UDL will be linear, my friend. There will be a straight line. Okay, this is X to the power 0, this is X to the power 1. And in this case, if W is proportional to X, if you integrate it, what you will get? X square means parabola. But there is a problem, whether the parabola will be like this or like this. Okay, what is the difference between these two? In one case, the slope is decreasing, in one case the slope is increasing. So how do we find it out whether the slope will be increasing or decreasing? Using this relation, ds by dx equals to W. Slope of shear force diagram is equal to load intensity. So if load intensity is increasing, slope of shear force diagram should also be increasing. Look at this, load intensity is increasing from 0 to maximum. So slope of shear force diagram will also be increasing. And I told you a very neat trick, a very simple trick to draw the increasing or decreasing slope. How do we draw increasing slope? We have to draw increasing slope. So increasing slope means 0 degree to 90 degree. Now just join these lines. So this is increasing slope. Okay, so it is a very simple trick because usually students get confused how to draw increasing or decreasing slope. So this is a very simple trick. 0 to 90 increasing, 90 to 0 decreasing. Okay, so this was shear force diagram. Now one more relation was there. If you integrate shear force, what do you get? You get bending moment. So if you integrate x to the power 0, what do you get? You get x to the power 1 means a straight line. So here bending moment diagram will be a straight line. Here if you integrate x to the power 1, what do you get? X square means parabola. But again we have the same problem, whether the slope will be increasing or decreasing. So the relation for this case is dm by dx equals to s. Slope of bending moment diagram is equal to shear force. Slope of shear force diagram is equal to load intensity, and slope of bending moment diagram is equal to shear force. Now shear force is increasing, so slope of bending moment diagram should also be increasing. Here see, shear force is increasing, going up, increasing. So slope of bending moment diagram should also be increasing. Increasing slope means 0 to 90. So here it will be 0, here it will be 90. Join this. So this is x square means parabola. So this is bending moment diagram in case of UDL. Now in case of UVL, shear force is x square. Integrated, what you will get? X to the power 3. Again, in shear force is increasing, slope should be increasing means 0, 90. So this will be the bending moment diagram x to the power 3. So these are the three cases, my friend, for which you have to remember how the diagram is drawn, because in case of competitive exams you don't get too much time to write the equation of shear force and bending moment. You have to quickly decide if there is a UDL, what will be shear force, what will be bending moment. If there is a UVL, what will be shear force, what will be bending moment. So you have to remember this. Okay, if there is no load between A and B, no load means what? Let's say this is a cantilever beam. Okay, let's say there is one load here, there is one load here. So see, there is no load between A and B, there is no load between B and C. So if there is no load between 2 points, shear force is horizontal, bending moment diagram is straight line. If there is UDL between 2 points, shear force is straight line, bending moment diagram is parabola. If there is UVL between 2 points, shear force is parabola, bending moment diagram is cubic. Okay, so you have to remember this in order to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram in any competitive exam. Okay, all right. Now we will discuss a very interesting concept, my friend, very amazing concept, using an example. I will give you an example and I will explain a really amazing concept, my friend. So don't forget to watch this video till the end. You will get really amazing concepts related to shear force and bending moment diagram. And if you have not liked this video till now, please hit the like button, my friend. Please hit the like button. Please thumbs up, my friend. Please hit the like button. All right. So I will explain a very amazing concept using this example. Let's say you have a cantilever beam subjected to point loads, my friend. It is subjected to point load. Let's say this load is 1 kilonewton. Let's say this load is 3 kilonewton. This is A, this is B, this is C. And you need to draw shear force diagram, my friend. You need to draw what? Shear force diagram. Okay. Our objective is to draw shear force diagram. Forget about bending moment right now. Just focus on shear force. Okay. All right. So first what we will do, let's say we have to find the reaction. Let's find out the reaction here. Although we don't need reaction, but in order to explain the concept, let's find out the reaction here. So 1 kilonewton, 3 kilonewton downward. So the reaction force will be upward. 4 kilonewton. Okay, very easy. Summation of Fy should be 0, my friend. Okay. Now, if I ask you, what is the shear force between A and B? What was the definition of shear force, my friend? Yesterday we saw the definition of shear force. Shear force means total force either on the left of this plane or on the right side of this plane, right? And what was the sign convention? Yesterday we discussed the sign convention for shear force diagram, my friend. If you are calculating shear force from left, then upward force positive, downward force negative. Okay, from left if you are calculating, upward force is positive, downward force is negative. So what will be the shear force on the left on this plane? -1. Downward force negative, -1. Okay, but if you are calculating forces from right, then downward force positive, upward force negative, opposite. Okay, from right the sign becomes opposite. Downward will become positive, upward will become negative. So what will be the shear force from right on this plane, my friend? Downward force positive means 3 minus 4, -1. So on left -1, from right -1, right? Okay. Now let's say I'm asking you to calculate shear force between B and C on this plane. So on left of this plane, what will be the force? -1, -3, -4 kilonewton. From left the shear force on this plane is -4. From right what will be the shear force? Again -4. From right upward is negative. So from right what you will get? -4. So from left you are getting -4. From right you are getting -4. This is the definition of shear force. You can calculate it from left. You can calculate it from right. Right? Now, if I ask you what is the shear force exactly at point B? Exactly at point B. Then from left what will you get? -1. From left you will get -1, but from right what you will get? -4. From left you are getting -1, from right you are getting -4. Let's say I ask you to calculate shear force exactly at point A. Then what you will get from left? Is there anything on the left of A? No. So from left you will get 0, and from right what you will get? +3 -4. So you will get -1. So from left you are getting 0 and from right you are getting -1. So what is happening, my friends? What is happening at this point? What is happening at A? What is happening at B? You are getting different values from left and different values from right. Are you understanding my point? Are you understanding my point? I am trying to explain a very amazing concept here. On the left of B there is a shear force of -1. And on the right of B there is a shear force of -4. So there is a difference of 3 kilonewton at point B. And why you are getting a difference of 3 kilonewton, my friend? Because of this force of 3 kilonewton. So what is happening? Let me explain. Due to this point load, due to this concentrated load, the shear force at point B suddenly changes from -1 to -4, my friend. So whenever there is a point load, whenever there is a concentrated load, shear force suddenly jumps, shear force suddenly changes. Let me draw the shear force diagram and then you will understand it better. So whenever you have to draw shear force or bending moment diagram, the first thing that you will do is draw a datum line. Datum line means on this line shear force will be 0. Okay. Now at point A, from left, what will be the shear force? 0. So the diagram will start from 0. Every diagram will start from 0, end at 0. Okay. So from left, shear force at point A should be 0. But there is a point force of 1 kilonewton. What is point force? It is acting at a point. It is concentrated at a point. So there is a point force of 1 kilonewton acting at point A. So what is going to happen? Shear force will suddenly jump from 0 to plus 1 or minus 1. What is our sign convention? From left, upward force positive, downward force negative. So this is a downward force. We are drawing the diagram from left, downward force negative. So it will suddenly jump from 0 to minus 1 kilonewton. Okay. Then from A to B, if there is no load, shear force diagram will be horizontal, my friend. Now again at point B, there is a downward force of 3 kilonewton. So shear force will again suddenly changes from minus 1 to minus 4, my friend. It will suddenly change at point B from minus 1 to minus 4. Then from B to C, no load, it will remain horizontal. And at point C, minus 4 plus 4. From right, from left, upward force is positive, right? We are drawing the diagram from right, upward force is positive. So minus 4 plus 4, it will become finally 0. It should start from 0, end at 0. So this is your shear force diagram. Look at this diagram, my friend. From here to here, it was constant. From A to B, it was constant. But then at point B, it suddenly changed. It suddenly jumped from minus 1 to minus 4, my friend. Why this sudden change of 3 kilonewton? Due to this point load. So remember this, note this down. Whenever at any point, if there is a point load means this concentrated load, the shear force will suddenly change at that point, and in the diagram what you will get? In the diagram you will get a vertical line, my friend. Okay. So whenever there is a point load, you will get a vertical line in shear force diagram. Very interesting concept, my friend. Very amazing concept. Okay. Now let's move on to another very amazing concept. Again, I will tell you the concept using an example. Okay, we will consider an example and we will try to understand this concept. Okay, so what I will do, I will consider an example of again a cantilever beam. So let's consider a cantilever beam. Okay, let's say there is a point load of 1 kilonewton here. Okay, then there is a point load of 2 kilonewton here. Then let's say there is a couple of 3 kilonewton meter. This is what? This is a couple, a moment. It is already a moment. This is A, this is B, this is D, C, this is D, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. This is an example, and our objective here is to draw bending moment diagram. Okay, our objective is to draw bending moment diagram. So let's draw the bending moment diagram. Now let's quickly revise the sign convention of bending moment diagram. So what was the sign convention we talked about yesterday? From left, this will be positive and this will be negative. Okay, from left, this is positive and this is negative, right? So we are drawing the diagram from left. So what will be the moment of 1 kilonewton? It will be like this. It will be like this. So it will be negative. Moment of 2 kilonewton again negative. Moment of 3 kilonewton meter again negative. We are drawing the diagram from left. Okay. So this is the sign convention from left. Now, tell me, what will be the bending moment at point A? This is your datum line. What will be the bending moment at point A? At point A, if you calculate bending moment from left, is there anything on left of A? Nothing. So what will be bending moment at A? 0. Tell me what will be the bending moment at point B. On the left of B, there is only one force, 1 kilonewton. So what will be the moment? 1 into 1 minus 1 kilonewton meter. Minus 1 kilonewton meter. And from A to B, what will be the bending moment diagram. If there is no load between 2 points, what is the bending moment diagram? It is a straight line, my friend. The bending moment diagram will be straight line. Now, at point C, if you calculate the bending moment from left, what you will get? What you will get, my friend? At point C, if you calculate the bending moment, what you will get? 1 into 2 minus 1 into 2 minus 2 minus 2 into 1 minus 2 means minus 4. If you calculate bending moment at point C on from left, you will get minus 4. So minus 4 will be somewhere here. Okay, and from here to here there will be another straight line, but it will be a different straight line like this. Okay, not the same straight line, it will be a different straight line like this. Okay, now look at this point, point C. There is a couple acting at point C, and whenever there is a couple at any point, what will happen? The bending moment will suddenly change. The bending moment will suddenly change. So right now the bending moment is minus 4. Due to this couple, the bending moment will suddenly change. This will also be a negative moment. So it will suddenly change from minus 4 to minus 7, my friend. It will suddenly change from minus 4 to minus 7. Okay. Minus 4 and minus 3, minus 7. So this is a sudden change in bending moment. Why? Because there is a couple of 3 kilonewton meter. So whenever there is a couple, see, from here to here bending moment was gradually increasing. Again from here to here it was gradually increasing. But at this point it suddenly increased from minus 1 to 4 to minus 7. Now at point D, what will be the bending moment? On the left of D, there are two forces and one couple. So what will be the total moment? 1 into 3, 3, 2 into 2, 4, 7 and 3, 10. So bending moment at point D will be 10 kilonewton, minus 10 kilonewton meter, and from C to D you will get a straight line. There is no load from C to D, so again you get a straight line. But at point D means at the end, what should be the bending moment? At the end bending moment should be 0. So it will change suddenly from minus 10 to 0, my friend. Now why this sudden change? Here we know there is a couple. Why it is changing suddenly at point D? Why? Because there is another couple at point D, my friend. There is another couple at point D. Reaction. This is a fixed end. So what do you get at fixed end? You get a couple at fixed end, right? So there is a reaction force. That is also a load. Right now we are not considering reaction, but it has to be there, right? It is acting at point D. It is also a load. So there is a reaction couple. So that's why at fixed end of cantilever beam, the moment will always suddenly change, right? So there are two sudden changes here at point C and at point D. Why? Because of a couple. So remember these two amazing concepts. Whenever there is a point force, shear force will suddenly change, and whenever there is a couple, bending moment will suddenly change, my friend. Okay? Alright. Now, I will explain to you another very interesting concept and very important concept from exam point of view. See, my friends, in competitive exams, they will not ask you to draw the entire shear force and bending moment diagram. What type of questions you will get? Suppose they will give you a question like this. Okay, what type of question you will get? Suppose you will get a question like this. They will give you 4 options, 4 different diagram. They will ask you which diagram is the correct diagram for this beam. You will get a question like this. What else you can get? They will ask you what is the maximum bending moment for this beam. They will ask you what is the maximum bending moment for this beam. Most of the questions are like this. Find the maximum bending moment, or where will you get the maximum bending moment. Okay, so it is very important to find the point where there is maximum bending moment. Okay, point of maximum bending moment. It is very important in competitive exams to find out at which point bending moment will be maximum, and you can't draw the entire bending moment diagram. You have to find the maximum bending moment directly. So I will tell you very easy way, very simple way to find out at which point the bending moment will be maximum. Okay, so the bending moment is maximum. Bending moment is maximum at a point if bending moment is maximum at a point if, now there are two criteria, okay, there are two criteria for bending moment to be maximum at any point. We will discuss both the criteria. So what is the first criteria? Bending moment will be maximum at a point if the first criteria is shear force changes sign. At that point, at point shear force changes sign, bending moment will be maximum. If there is change in shear force sign, then bending moment will be maximum. For example, let's say you have a shear force diagram like this. Okay, let's say this is your shear force diagram. Okay, let's say this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. From A to B, shear force is positive, and from B to C, shear force is negative. So what is this? This is a shear force diagram, and you can see that at point B, the sign of shear force is changing from positive to negative. Means if you draw the bending moment diagram, bending moment will be maximum at this point. You can see this will be the bending moment diagram. Okay, we will consider this example. This is the bending moment diagram. This is maximum bending moment where the shear force is changing sign. So this is the first criteria. Where will you get maximum bending moment? Which one will be the point of maximum bending moment? It will be the point at which shear force is changing sign. Okay. Now, second criteria, if there is a couple acting at a point. Let's say you have a cantilever beam. Okay, let's say you have a cantilever beam subjected to point load. So if you draw the shear force diagram, you will get a diagram like this. For this beam, shear force diagram will be this, right? But if you draw the bending moment diagram, it will be like this. Bending moment diagram will be like this. Look at the bending moment diagram. This will be negative. According to our sign convention, it will be negative. Okay. Now look at the bending moment diagram. Where are you getting maximum bending moment? You are getting maximum bending moment at the fixed end. In cantilever beams, bending moment is maximum at which point? Fixed end. But you can see at fixed end, there is no change in sign. The entire shear force diagram is negative. In case of cantilever beams, usually there is no change in bending shear force sign, right? Here we are seeing there is a change in shear force sign, so bending moment is maximum at that point. But here there is no change in sign of shear force. Then in this case, where will you get maximum bending moment? If there is no change in sign of shear force, bending moment will be maximum if there is a couple at that point. There should be a couple at that point. Where do you have a couple here? You have a couple at the fixed end, right? Reaction couple. So that's why bending moment is maximum at this point. So remember these two criteria and you can easily find out where will you get maximum bending moment. Okay, it is very important to find the location of maximum bending moment. So where do you get maximum bending moment, my friend? If the first criteria is there is a change in sign of shear force, or the second criteria is there should be a couple at that point. Okay, so remember these 2 points. Note these 2 points down, my friend. Note these 2 points down. The point of maximum bending moment, if there is a change in sign or if there is a couple. Okay, all right. Now we will start drawing the shear force and bending moment diagram for different beams under different loading condition. And my friend, right now we will only consider statically determinate beams, means cantilever, simply supported and overhang beam. Yesterday we talked about types of beam. There are 2 categories of beam: determinate beams, indeterminate beams. There are 3 determinate beams, 3 indeterminate beams. We will only consider determinate beams right now. Why? Because for solving indeterminate beams, we need compatibility equation, means deflection. Okay, so for solving indeterminate beams, we need deflection of beams. So in the chapter of deflection of beams, when we will study deflection of beams, after shear force and bending moment diagram, we will study deflection of beams, which is also a very important and very amazing topic. So in deflection of beams, we will consider statically indeterminate beams. Right now we will only consider statically determinate beams, means 3 beams: cantilever, simply supported and overhang beam. Okay, and we will consider different loading condition and we will draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. So we will start with cantilever beam. We will start with cantilever beam. Let's say we have a cantilever beam. Okay, let's say we have a cantilever beam which is subjected to different loads at different points. Let's say there is a load here, there is a load here, there is a load here. Okay, let's say this is 1 kilonewton, let's say this is 3 kilonewton, let's say this is 5 kilonewton. 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. Very easy example because this is our first diagram. So I am considering very easy example. Okay, all right. Now, first of all, you need to understand that you are understanding this concept from exam point of view, competitive exam. You have to draw shear force and bending moment diagrams for competitive exams. Okay, in competitive exams, you'll only get 1 minute or 2 minutes to solve this problem. Okay, so you can't write the equation of shear force and bending moment. Okay, you can't do that. You have to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram of this beam as quickly as possible. So we will see what is the procedure of directly drawing shear force and bending moment diagram. Okay, now I told you that you know in 3 cases how the shear force and bending moment diagram will look. If there is no load, shear force constant, bending moment linear. If there is UDL, shear force linear, bending moment parabola. If there is UVL, shear force parabola, bending moment cubic. So you remember that, and we will use that concept to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram here. Okay, so first of all, we will draw the shear force diagram. So we will draw a datum line. What is datum line? Shear force at this line is 0. Now what we will do? We will start drawing the shear force diagram directly. Okay, so at point A, what should be the value of shear force? On the left of A, there is no force. There is nothing on the left of A. So what should be the shear force on left of A? 0, my friend. Okay, and there is a point force of 1 kilonewton, and whenever there is a point force in shear force diagram, what do you get? You get a vertical line because shear force suddenly changes at that point. So at point A, shear force will suddenly change from 0 to -1. Okay, why this sudden change? Because of point force. Now from A to B, there is no load, and if there is no load between 2 points, shear force is constant, shear force is horizontal. But at point B, again you have a concentrated load. How much? 3 kilonewton. So shear force will again suddenly change from -1 to how much? How much? -1 to -4 kilonewton, right? Then from B to C, there is no load again, so it will remain horizontal. At point C, there is a downward load, concentrated load of 5 kilonewton. So -4 -5, you will get -9. Then from C to D, this is point D. So from C to D, again there is no load, and at point D, it will change from -9 to 0. It should start from 0, it should end at 0. So here it will suddenly change. Why it is suddenly changing here? Because there is a reaction force. Don't forget the reactions. Okay, don't forget the reaction. We don't have to calculate reaction here. We don't need the value, but you should know that there is a reaction force and there is a reaction couple. Okay, those are also loads. Okay, so due to this reaction force, it suddenly changes from -9 to 0. This is what? This is your shear force diagram. Look at this diagram. It is completely on negative side, right? Look at this diagram. It is completely on negative side. There is no change in sign. So if there is no change in sign of shear force, where will you get maximum bending moment? If there is a change in sign, bending moment is maximum there. But if there is no change in sign of shear force, where do you get maximum bending moment? Where there is a couple. Where do you have a couple here? At point D. So bending moment will be maximum at point D. Without even drawing the bending moment diagram, you can tell where will you get the maximum bending moment, my friend. So here we will get maximum bending moment at point D. Now we will draw the bending moment diagram using the same process. Using the same process, my friend. Okay, you have to quickly draw these diagrams. Okay, so you can't write the equations and all. You have to quickly draw the diagram because you are drawing the diagrams in competitive exam. You'll only get 1 or 2 minutes. So you'll draw the datum line first, 0 0. Okay, now at point A, what will be the bending moment? On the left of A, there is nothing, so bending moment here will be 0. At point B, what will be the bending moment? Look at this. On the left of B, there is only one force, 1 kilonewton, and moment of this 1 kilonewton will be negative. What will be the moment? Minus 1 into 1. So it will be minus 1. Minus 1 kilonewton meter. And from A to B, what you will get? You will get a straight line. You will get a straight line like this. Okay, there is no load. So if there is no load, bending moment diagram is straight line. Now at point C, what will be the bending moment? Calculate the bending moment at point C, my friend. Calculate the bending moment. Minus 1 into 2, minus 2, minus 3 into 1, minus 3. So minus 2 and minus 3, minus 5. So here it will be minus 5. But my friend, there will be another straight line from B to C. But this straight line will have a different slope. So don't make this mistake. Usually what people do is, they see that there is a straight line from A to B, there is a straight line from B to C. So they draw this straight line. It is wrong. It is wrong. Why? Because my friend, slope of bending moment diagram is equal to shear force. Slope of bending moment diagram is equal to shear force. Shear force between AB is minus 1. Shear force between BC is minus 4. So shear force in BC is greater. Means slope of BC should be greater, my friend. So this line will have a greater slope. Okay. It will be like this. The slope of AB is less, the slope of BC is more. Okay. Why? Because slope of bending moment diagram is equal to shear force, and shear force in BC is more. Now at point D, what will be the bending moment? At point D, what will be the bending moment? Minus 1 into 3, minus 3, minus 3 into 2, minus 6, minus 5 into 1, minus 5, minus 3, minus 6, minus 5, minus 3 and minus 6, minus 9, and minus 5, minus 14, my friend. So at point D, what will be the bending moment? It will be minus 14 kilonewton meter. From C to D, again you will have a straight line, but this straight line will have even greater slope. So it will be like this. Okay, so look at this. We have three straight lines, but with different slope. The slope is increasing. Why? Because shear force is increasing. Shear force in CD is maximum, then in BC, and least is AB. Now at point D, there is a couple, reaction couple. So it will suddenly change from minus 14 to 0, my friend. It will suddenly change at point D from minus 14 to 0. This is your bending moment diagram. Okay, look at this bending moment diagram. It is completely negative. It is completely negative. And negative bending moment means what? Positive moment means sagging, and negative moment means hogging. Yesterday I told you this is positive moment, smiley face. This is negative moment, sad face. So you are getting negative moment means it will be a sad face, means it will be a hogging moment like this. This beam will bend like this. Okay, see, it is hogging. Okay, all right. So this was the shear force and bending moment diagram. I hope you saw this procedure, you understood this procedure. Now let's draw another shear force and bending moment diagram for cantilever beam. We will consider different loads. Okay, this was point load. Let's consider a UDL. This time we will also consider a UDL, my friend. Okay, you have to practice as many problems as possible. Okay, I will try to solve different types of problems, but you also have to draw different problems at your home. Okay, so try to solve as many problems as possible on shear force and bending moment diagram. So let me consider another cantilever beam subjected to UDL and point load. Let's say there is a UDL of 3 kilonewton per meter. This is A, this is B. Let's say this is 2 meter, and there is a point load of 5 kilonewton. This is 1 meter. This is C. This is D. This is 1 meter. Okay. So note this loading condition. Note this loading condition and try to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for this beam. Note this loading condition. Try to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram, my friend. Try to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for this beam, my friend. Try to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. First draw the datum line and then start drawing the shear force diagram. Okay. If you still have any confusion, let's draw together. Okay, if you still have any confusion, let's draw together. 0, 0, right? From A to B, is there any point load? There is no point load, my friend. Okay, so it will not suddenly change. Point load is at point C and D. Okay, here at D, there are reactions. There is one reaction like this, one reaction like this. So at point C and point D, there is point load. So shear force will suddenly change there. But from A to B, no point load, but there is a UDL. Okay, at point A, shear force will be 0. Start from 0. At point B, what will be the shear force? What is shear force? Total load on left or on right. So what is total load on left of B? It is the total load of this UDL. So what will be the total load of this UDL? Minus 3 into 2. It is downward. So negative. 3 into 2 minus 6. So what is the shear force at point B? Minus 6. Total load from A to B minus 6. Right? And from A to B, if there is a UDL, what is shear force? If there is a UDL, shear force is straight line, my friend, like this. Okay. Then from B to C, is there any load? No. So shear force will remain horizontal, constant. Then at point C, there is a point load 5 kilonewton downward. So it will suddenly change from minus 6 to minus 11. Minus 6 minus 5. It will suddenly change to minus 11, my friend. Then from C to D, is there any load? No. So it will remain horizontal. Then at point D, there is an upward force positive. So it will suddenly change up to 0. Why 0? Because it should start from 0, end at 0. So this is your shear force diagram, my friend. Look at this diagram, completely on negative side. My friends, keep this in mind. In cantilever beams, you always get shear force diagram completely on one side. Okay, so bending moment is always maximum at this point, at couple, because shear force is not changing sign. So where will you get maximum bending moment? Where there is a couple. Okay, so this is the shear force diagram, my friend. Look at this. This is the shear force diagram. Now we will draw the bending moment diagram. So I will erase this. I will erase this and I will start drawing the bending moment diagram. Now if you have still not liked the video, please hit the like button, my friend. Please hit the like button. And after this lecture ends, don't forget to share this video to all your friends, my friend. Okay, this is your duty. We have to reach maximum number of subscribers, my friend. You have to tell everyone about this YouTube channel. If we reach maximum number of subscriber, if our subscriber is too much, then we will be able to do a lot of things on YouTube. Okay, right now we have restriction, but if our subscribers are too much, then we can do anything on YouTube. We can post live lectures of all the subjects, then we can take doubt sessions. We will do a lot of things, but for that our subscribers should be too much. Okay, so that's why you have to share this video to as many people as you can. Sharing is caring, my friend. Remember that sharing is caring. So keep sharing my videos. Okay, so all right, this is your datum line of bending moment diagram. Now at point A, bending moment will be 0, nothing left on A, so 0. At point B, what will be the bending moment? What will be the bending moment, my friend? Here there is a UDL. So in case of UDL, what do you assume? That the entire load is acting at the centroid. Where will you get the centroid? Here. Here you will get the centroid, right? Here you will get the centroid. So what will be the bending moment at point B? This load will be 6 kilonewton. This is the center. Okay, this is the center. From here to here, distance will be 1 meter. So 6 kilonewton, 3 into 2, 6 kilonewton, we are assuming is acting at the center. So what will be the bending moment at point B? Minus 6 into 1. So bending moment will be minus 6. And what will be the diagram, my friend? If there is a UDL, bending moment diagram will be parabola. But you have to check whether the slope will be increasing or decreasing. Now, look at the shear force diagram. Shear force diagram was increasing from A to B. Although it was going negative side, but you don't have to check the sign, my friend. Whenever I ask you whether shear force is increasing or decreasing, just check the magnitude. Don't check the sign. So sign of shear force was negative, but it was increasing. Here shear force was 0. Here shear force was 6. So magnitude was increasing. So the slope of bending moment diagram will also increase. Slope of bending moment diagram is equal to shear force. So if shear force is increasing, Slope of bending moment diagram will be increasing. Now increasing slope means it will go from 0 to 90. 0 to 90. So it will be like this. Okay, 0 to 90 it will be like this. Okay. Then at point C, what will be the bending moment? Calculate bending moment. For UDL, minus 6 into this distance will be from the center to point C. What will be the distance? 2 meter. So minus 6 into 2, minus 12. Minus 12. And from B to C, it will be a straight line, my friend. It will be a straight line. Okay. Then at point D, what will be the bending moment, my friend? For UDL, minus 6 into 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 3, 18. Minus 6 into 3, 18. Minus 5 into 1. So minus 18, minus 5, minus 23. It will be minus 23. And it will also be a straight line, but the slope will be different, like this. Okay. This straight line will have different slope and this straight line will have different slope, like this. Okay. So from C to D also you will have a straight line. Now in the end there is a couple. In the end there is a couple. So it will suddenly change from minus 23 to 0. Start from 0, end at 0. This is your bending moment diagram. Look at this diagram, completely on negative side. Why? Because in cantilever beam there is always hogging, my friend. Okay. So this is the bending moment diagram of this beam. Okay. So you have understood shear force diagram and bending moment diagram for cantilever beam subjected to point load and UDL. Now let's consider another example. This time I will consider a UVL. This time I will consider a UVL, uniformly varying load, my friend. I will consider a uniformly varying load. So let's say we have a UVL. Let's say you have a UVL like this. It is a trapezoid UVL. I told you yesterday there are two types of UVL, triangle UVL and trapezoid UVL. So usually we get triangle UVL, but there are very few questions on trapezoid UVL. Let's see trapezoid UVL, okay? Because triangle UVL you can easily calculate. Here, let's say this is 5 kilonewton per meter and this is 15 kilonewton per meter. What is this? This is load intensity, height of this diagram. Here the height is 5, here this is 15. Load intensity, load per unit length. Let's say this is point A, let's say this is point B, let's say this is 6 meter. Okay. So this is your loading diagram. Now we have to draw shear force diagram. Okay. So what we will do? Same procedure, my friend. Draw the datum line. Draw the datum line. Then what we will do? Then we will like this video. Okay. The second procedure is like this video. Keep a thumbs up, my friend. Like this video. I want likes from all of you, my friend. If you are liking this video, if you want all the concepts to be covered, please hit the like button, please. Okay. All right. So the next procedure is calculating the total load. At point A, what will be shear force? 0. Because there is no point load. So shear force at point A will be 0. At point B, what will be the shear force? Total load from A to B. Now in order to calculate total load, what do you have to calculate? I told you yesterday, whenever there is a loading diagram like this, whenever there is a distributed load, total load is equal to area of this diagram. Now area of trapezoid, if you don't remember the formula, I told you simply what you have to do, simply convert this into a rectangle and a triangle. Okay. If you don't know the formula of trapezoid, if you know the formula of trapezoid, very good. But if you don't know the formula, simply convert it into a triangle and a rectangle. See, this is a rectangle. What will be the height of rectangle? 5. This is height 5. And what will be the height of triangle? What will be the height? If this is 5, this total height is 15. So if this is 5, this will be 10. Okay. So this is 5 kilonewton per meter and this is 10 kilonewton per meter. So now it is converted into a UDL. This is a rectangle and a UVL. And a UVL. Okay. So rectangle and triangle. This is the second diagram. So if I ask you to calculate total load, you will calculate total area. What will be total area, my friend? What will be total area? What will be the shear force at point B? What will be total area? Area of rectangle will be height into width. So it will be 5 into 6. It will be negative, my friend. Downward force negative. So 5 into 6. And what will be the area of this UVL, my friend? Half into base into height. What will be the height? 10. So look at this. Look at this, my friend. What will be the shear force? This will be 30. This will also be 30. So it will be minus 60. So shear force at point B will be minus 60. Total load from A to B will be minus 60. So shear force at A 0, shear force at B minus 60. Now we have a UVL, and in case of UVL, what is shear force diagram, my friend? It is parabola. Shear force diagram will be a parabola, but the problem is whether the parabola will be of like this or like this. What will be the parabola? Like this, 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2. What you have to decide? Whether the slope will be increasing or decreasing. The slope of shear force diagram is equal to load intensity, right? Now look at the load intensity. Here the load intensity is 5. Load per unit length 5, and here the load intensity is 15. So load intensity is increasing, means slope of shear force will also be increasing. So let's draw increasing slope. How do we draw increasing slope, my friend? Increasing means 0 to 90, right? Increasing means 0 to 90. So just join these 2 points like this, 0 to 90, and in the end it will become 0 because there is a reaction force. So in the end it will become 0. So this is a shear force diagram. This is shear force diagram of cantilever beam. Look at this diagram, completely on negative side. Why? Because there is no change in sign. So bending moment will be maximum at the end. Alright. So this is the shear force diagram, my friend. UVL. So it is a parabola of increasing slope. Now we will draw bending moment diagram. Okay. Now we will draw bending moment diagram. Now we will draw the bending moment diagram, my friend. Okay. So again, datum line. Again a datum line. Now at point A, what will be the bending moment? 0, because there is nothing left of A. At point B, what will be the bending moment? Bending moment of this UDL, rectangle, and bending moment of this UVL, triangle. Okay, bending moment of this plus bending moment of this. Okay, so what we will do? We will calculate the bending moment of this rectangle and triangle separately. Okay. So what will be the bending moment of rectangle? For rectangle, where will you get the centroid? Here. The centroid will be here. From here to here, what will be the distance? 3 meter. Okay. So what will be the load of UDL? What will be the load of UDL? 5 into 6. And what will be the distance? 3 meter. Okay. So this is the moment of UDL. Now moment of UVL. So what will be the load of UVL? Half into 10 into 6. Load of UVL will be this. And for UVL, where will you get the centroid? The centroid will be here. L by 3. This will be L by 3. 6 by 3 means 2 meter. For UVL, this centroid will not be at the center. For triangle, centroid will not be at the center. Centroid will be somewhere here. It will be from here L by 3. 6 by 3. 2 meter. So this will be 2 meter. So what will be the moment, my friend? 5 into 6, 30 into 3. This will be 90. And this will be 30 into 2, 60. So what will be the moment? Minus 150 kilonewton meter. So at point A, bending moment is 0, and at point B, bending moment will be minus 150 kilonewton meter, my friend. Okay. So this is the bending moment. Now, what will be the diagram? Bending moment diagram will be cubic. Okay. X to the power 3. So again we have to check whether the slope will be increasing or decreasing. Shear force was increasing. It was going on negative, but I told you whenever you have to check whether it is increasing or decreasing, just look at the magnitude. So shear force was increasing in magnitude. So slope of bending moment diagram should increase. So this should be 0. This should be 90. Just join this 0 to 90. And in the end, there should be a couple here. In the end, it will become 0. Suddenly it will become 0. So this is your bending moment diagram, completely on negative side, means it will be hogging. It will be hogging like this. So this is shear force and bending moment diagram for all types of cantilever beams. We have seen point load, we have seen UDL, we have seen UVL. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the next type of beam, the second type of beam, which is simply supported beam. And before going on to simply supported beam, please, if you have still not liked the video, hit the like button, my friend. Hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up, my friend. Hit the like button. Okay. All right. Don't forget to share this video. Sharing is caring. Remember, sharing is caring. So keep sharing. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next type of beam. The second type of beam, simply supported beam. Okay. So we will consider a simply supported beam. We'll consider a simply supported beam. Let me consider a simply supported beam for you. Let's say we have a simply supported beam which is hinged at this end. It is subjected to point load here, a point load here, and there is a roller support here. There is a roller support here. This is 2 meter, this is 1 meter, this is 2 meter, A, B, C, D. This is 5 kilonewton and this is 10 kilonewton. This is loading condition, very simple loading condition, because this is our first problem of simply supported beam. So I am considering a very simple loading condition. Okay. So this is your problem. Alright. Now, in case of cantilever beam, we were not calculating reactions. Why? Because we were getting reaction only on one end. So you don't need to calculate reaction if you want shear force at bending moment. You can draw the diagram from other end. But here, if I ask you what is the shear force here, you either calculate it from left or you calculate it from right. So in any way you will have you will have to find out the reaction. Without reaction in simply supported beam or in overhang beam, you can't calculate shear force and bending moment. In cantilever beam, all the reaction is only on one end. So we can calculate shear force and bending moment from the other end. But here the reactions are at both the ends. So you have to calculate reaction first. Okay. So in simply supported and overhang beam, we will first calculate the reaction. That will be our first procedure. Okay. All right. Now what will be the reaction at hinge? At hinge, you will get a reaction in X, you will get a reaction in Y. But is there any other load in X? Is there any other force in X? No. And summation of Fx should be 0. So this reaction will become 0. So there is a reaction at A in Y direction. Here there is a roller support, and due to roller support there will be a reaction only in Y direction. So this will be RD. So this is RA, this is RD. Now we will draw the shear force diagram. Okay, directly. So what is the second procedure right now? Draw the datum line. First procedure, calculate the reaction. Now second procedure, draw the datum line and start drawing the shear force diagram. Sorry. We forgot to calculate the reaction. I'm so sorry. I thought that we have calculated the reaction. So sorry for this mistake. Okay. We usually make these blunders in class. Okay. So we will have to calculate the reaction. Okay. So for finding the reaction, we need equilibrium equation. So what equilibrium equation we have? Summation of Fy equals to 0. So what will you get? Ra plus Rd. So what will you get? Ra plus Rd equals to 15 kilonewton. This is your first equation. Okay. What will be the second equation? Summation of M equals to 0. Where will you take moment? You take moment either at A or D. Okay. So if you take moment at D, moment of Rd will become 0. Now you will get the value of Ra. So what will be the moment of Ra? Ra into 2 plus 2 4 plus 1 5. Okay. This will be clockwise. Let's say clockwise is positive. Minus these two moments will be anti-clockwise, negative. So minus 5 into 3 minus 10 into 2 equals to 0. So this is the equation of moment. What will you get? Ra equals to, what will you get, my friend? This will become 15 plus 20, 35. 15 plus 20, 35 divided by 5, 7. So Ra will be 7, and if Ra is 7, what will be Rd? If Ra is 7, Rd will be 15 minus 7, means it will be 8 kilonewton. So these are your reaction. Okay. Now we will start drawing the shear force diagram. So now you can draw the datum line. Okay. Now you can draw the datum line. So let's draw the datum line first. Okay. So this is 0, 0. Now at point A, the shear force will start from 0, but there is a point load of 7 kilonewton upward. There is a point load of 7 kilonewton upward. From left, upward force will be positive force. From left, upward force will be positive force. So it will suddenly change from 0 to plus 7, my friend. It will go from 0 to plus 7. Then from A to B, it will remain constant. At point B, there is a downward force of 5 kilonewton. Sudden change, downward force means negative. So 7 minus 5, it will suddenly change up to 2 kilonewton. Okay. Then from B to C, it will remain constant. At point C, it will suddenly change from 2 to 10 kilonewton downward. Downward means negative. So 2 minus 10, 2 minus 10 minus 8. It will suddenly change from 2 to minus 8. Then from C to D, no load. So it will remain horizontal. At point D, there is an upward load, 8 kilonewton. So minus 8 plus 8, it will become 0. So this is your shear force diagram, my friend. This is your shear force diagram. Look at this diagram, my friend. From A to C, it is positive, and from C to D, it is negative. From A to C, shear force is positive. From C to D, shear force is negative. Means shear force is changing sign. Shear force is changing sign. Where it is changing sign? At point C. I told you, my friend, point of maximum bending moment. There are two criteria of getting maximum bending moment. It will be either at a point where there is a couple, or where there is a change in sign of shear force. So there is a change in sign of shear force at point C. So at point C, you will get the maximum bending moment, my friend. So let's draw the maximum bending moment diagram. We will see that at point C, bending moment will be maximum. Okay. Now, let's draw the datum line first. 0, 0. Okay, this is a bending moment diagram. At point A, what will be the bending moment? What is on the left of A? Nothing. So at point A, bending moment will be 0. At point D, what will be the bending moment? What is the moment on the right? Nothing. You can calculate moment from left, you can calculate moment from right. So what is the moment from right? Nothing. So 0. So in this case, in case of simply supported and overhang beams, at the ends, bending moment is always 0. Why? Because there is no couple. If there is a couple, it will not be 0. But if there is no couple, it will always be 0. So at point A and point D, bending moment is 0. Why? Because there is no couple. In case of cantilever beam, on this end, there is a couple. That's why there is no 0 bending moment. But here, there is no couple at A or D. So bending moment at the ends will always be 0. Now, you only have to calculate bending moment at B and bending moment at C. What will be the bending moment at B? Calculate it from left. 7 into 2, 14, and it will be positive. What will be bending moment at C? If you want to calculate bending moment at C, calculate it from right. Okay, because there is only one load from right. So 8 into 2, 16. So here bending moment is 14, and here bending moment is 16. From A to B, there is no load. So bending moment diagram, straight line. From B to C, again you will have a straight line. And from C to D, again you will have a straight line. So this is your bending moment diagram. Look at this diagram, my friend. It is completely positive. In case of cantilever beam, it was completely negative, means it was hogging. Here it is completely positive, means it will be sagging. What will be the bending? It will bend like this. It will bend like this, my friend. Look at this diagram. When this beam will bend, it will become like this. See, this beam is sagging, my friend. Okay, so that's why the entire bending moment diagram is positive, my friend. Okay, all right. So this was the first shear force and bending moment diagram for simply supported beam. Now let's move on to another question, another problem. This time we will consider a UDL. Okay, let's consider a UDL. So let me consider an example. Let's say we have a simply supported beam subjected to UDL. Okay, simply supported beam subjected to UDL. If you have still not liked the video, I will not like you. I am telling you, I will not like you. So please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Okay, please hit the like button first, and then we will start solving this problem. It is a very interesting problem, my friend. I will tell you a very interesting concept using this problem. Okay, Very interesting and very important concept. Okay, all right. So this is our loading condition. We have a simply supported beam subjected to UDL from B to C. Okay, there is no other load. So first of all, what you have to do, find the reaction. So at the hinge, X reaction will become 0 because there is no other load in X. So there will be RA. Here there will be RD. Okay. So first calculate the value of RA and RD. How will you calculate it? By applying equilibrium equation. So what will be the first equation? Summation of Fy equals to 0. Calculate it on your own. Don't just copy it. Okay. I told you, whenever you are sitting in my class every day at 3 p.m. you have to sit with a clean notebook and a calculator, my friend, and you have to start solving this problem with me. Then only you will be able to understand it properly. Okay. So summation of Fy equals to 0. Now RA plus RD will be equal to what? 10 into 4, 40. Okay, 10 into 4, 40. So this is your first equation, RA plus RD equals to 40. Then we will take moment at point D, my friend. We will take moment at point D. So what will be the moment at point D? RA into 4 plus 1, 5 plus 3, 8 minus the moment of UDL, 10 into 4, this will be the load, 10 into 4 will be the load, and we will take moment from center. We will take moment from the center. Okay. So what will be the distance from center to point D? This will be 2 plus 3, 5. This will be 2 meter plus 3, 5 equals to 0. So what will you get? RA equals to, what will you get, my friend? What will you get? This will become 25 kilonewton. RA will become 25 kilonewton, and if RA is 25, RD will be 15 kilonewton. If RA is 25, RD will be 40 minus 25. 40 minus 25 means 15 kilonewton. So this was the calculation of reaction. Very easy calculation. You just have to apply equilibrium equation. Okay. All right. Now we will draw the shear force diagram. Now we will draw the shear force diagram. So let's draw the shear force diagram, my friend. Here shear force 0, here shear force 0. Okay. All right. Now at point A, let's draw the datum line here. At point A, there is an upward force of 25 kilonewton. So it will suddenly change from 0 to 25. From A to B, do you see any load? No. So horizontal. At point C, what will be the total, what will be the shear force? You can calculate it from left, or you better calculate it from right, because there is only one load out from right. So at point C, from right, what will be the shear force? 15. And from right, upward force is negative. From left, upward force positive, but from right, upward force is negative. So at point C, what will be the shear force? Minus 15. It will be minus 15. Now from B to C, what will be the shear force diagram? Because of UDL, it will be a straight line. Now from C to D, there is no load, so it will remain horizontal, and at point D, minus 15 plus 15, it will become 0. Okay. So this is your shear force diagram, my friend. This is your shear force diagram. Look at this shear force diagram. From A to this point, it is positive, and from this point to this point, it is negative. So at this point, shear force is changing sign, means we are going to get maximum bending moment here. So we should know where this point lies. Now this point, let's say, is point E. Do you know where point E is? No. You just know that this point is between B and C, but you don't know the exact location of point E. So we have to find the exact location of point E, and in order to find the location of point E, you have two methods, my friend. I will tell you both the methods. Okay. This is a very important concept. You will get a question on this concept. You will see questions on this concept. So this is a very important concept. If you have a point where shear force is changing sign, you have to know the location of that point. But right now we don't know the location. So we have to find the location of this point. How to find the location of this point E where shear force is changing sign? So we have two methods for doing it. First method is similar triangle method. Okay. Look at these two triangle. These two are similar triangle. Okay. Let's say this distance is x. Let's say this distance is x. Means base of this triangle is x. So what will be the base of this triangle? This will be, this total distance is 4. So if this is x, this will be 4 minus x. So look at this two triangle. Apply similar triangle property here. So what will you get? X by 25 base by height equals to base by height, means 4 minus x by 15. Okay. So this is one method. This is one method of finding the location of this point. Okay. X by 25 equals to 4 minus x by 15. What I have done? I have applied similar triangle property between these 2 points. So you will get x equals to 2.5 meter. You will get x equals to 2.5 meter. Solve this and you will get x equals to 2.5. This is one method by using similar triangle. I will tell you another method. What is the shear force at this point? What is the shear force? Look at this. What is the shear force at this point? 0. Shear force at point E is 0. Now calculate shear force at point E from left. From left, what will be the shear force? 25 is upward. Okay. So plus 25 minus UDL from B to E. On the left of E, there are two forces, 25 and UDL. So from B to E, what will be the UDL? 10 into x, right? This distance we have assumed x. So 10 into x. This should be equal to what? 0. At point E, shear force should be 0. Now calculate x. What will you get? 2.5 meter. So this is another method. So I have told you two methods to find the value of x. So what is the value of x? 2.5 meter, my friend. So this is how you can find the location of this point where shear force is changing sign. At this point means at point T, bending moment will be maximum, my friend. Okay. So look at this. Look at this procedure. We have used two methods, similar triangle and shear force equation. Okay. This is the equation of shear force. Using that also you can calculate the value of x. Now once you have got the value of x, now we have to calculate bending moment. Okay, now we have to draw bending moment diagram. So let's say this is the datum. Okay, let's say this is the datum. What will be the bending moment at A? 0. What will be the bending moment at D? 0. Because there is no couple at the ends, so bending moment will be 0. What will be the bending moment at B? It will be 25 into 1. Okay. What will be bending moment at C? 15 into 3, 45. Okay. So bending moment at B and C, we have easily calculated. 25 into 1, 15 into 3. So 25, 45. Now at point E, bending moment is maximum and that we have to calculate. So how we can calculate it? We can calculate it like this. 25 into 1 plus 2.5, 3.5. Okay, minus what will be the load from B to E? 10 into 2.5 multiplied by, we will consider the distance from the center. From B to E, the center will be here, means 2.5 by 2. For UDL, we calculate moment from center. So what will be the moment at point E, my friend? Moment at point E, calculate it. What will be the moment at point E, my friend? 25 into 3.5 minus 25 into 1.25. So it will be 56.25. So moment at point E will be 56.25 and this is maximum bending moment. Okay. So we have values of bending moment. Now we will draw the diagram. So from A to B, there is no load. So it will be straight line. From B to E, there is UDL. So it will be parabola, but slope will be increasing or decreasing. Look at the shear force diagram. From B to E, shear force is decreasing. So slope of parabola will be decreasing like this. Okay. From E to C, again it will be a parabola, but this time shear force will increase. So slope will be increasing like this. Okay. Here the slope is 0. Why? Because shear force is 0. If the shear force is 0, slope will be 0. So here you have 0 slope. Then at point D, bending moment is 0 and from C to D it will be a straight line. This is your bending moment diagram, my friend. This is your bending moment diagram. Again, you see bending moment is completely positive, means this beam will be sagging like this. This beam will be sagging like this. Okay, what is the maximum bending moment, my friend? Maximum bending moment here is 56.25 kilonewton meter. Okay, so you should know how to find the location where shear force is changing sign, my friend. Okay, so we have seen different loadings in simply supported beam also. Okay, let's move on to another loading condition. Let me solve another loading condition. This time we will consider overhang beams. We will now consider overhang beam. Overhang beams are another types of statically determinate beams. Okay, all right, so let's move on to overhang beam. Okay, so let's consider a very simple example of overhang beam. Okay, let's consider a very simple example of overhang beam. This is the first diagram of overhang beam, so we'll consider a simple example. Okay, so let's consider an overhang beam like this, which has two overhang, one on the left end, one on the right end. This load is what's 4 kilonewton. Okay, this load is 5 kilonewton. Okay, this is A, B, B, C, D. Okay, this is 1 meter, this is 6 meter, and this is 2 meter. So this is the overhang beam. There is only point load right now. Okay, very simple. First find out the reaction. First find out the reaction, and before finding the reaction, you have to do one thing for me. Hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, please hit the like button, and don't forget to share this video after this lecture ends, please. Don't just close your YouTube. Don't forget to share this to all your friends. Share this link to all your friends. Tell them about our channel. Tell them to subscribe our channel. We need millions of subscribers. If our subscribers are too much, then we can do anything on this channel. We can post a lot of videos on YouTube. Okay, we can post any video you want, but for that you have to increase the number of subscribers. We have to reach maximum number of students. This is free education, my friend. So keep sharing these videos. Sharing is caring. Please remember this, sharing is caring. My voice starts to crack. Okay, after a while my voice starts to crack because of this shouting. I try to put as much energy as I can in the video, and in that process my throat starts to be like this. My throat starts to crack. All right, so we have to calculate the reaction at B and reaction at point C. So how will you calculate it? By using equilibrium equation. Apply equilibrium equation. Tell me what is RBRZ. I will not calculate it every time for you. Okay, you have to calculate it on your own. I am not going to give the exam for you. So calculate it on your own. Calculate it on your own and give me the answer in live chat. Give me the answer. Give me the answer. So summation of Fy equals to 0. Let me calculate it anyway. So if you know how to calculate it, please do it on your own. So RB plus RC equals to how much? 9 kilonewton. Then let's take moment at point C. Let's take moment at point C. So moment of RC will become 0. What will be the moment of RB? RB into 6, and this will be clockwise. Moment of 4 will be anti-clockwise, minus 4 into 7, and moment of 5 will also be clockwise. So plus 5 into 2 equals to 0. So RB into 6 minus 4 into 7 plus 5 into 2. What will you get, my friend? What will be the value of RB? This will become 28 minus 10. 18 by 6, this will become 3 kilonewton. RB will be 3 kilonewton, and if RB is 3 kilonewton, what will be RD? If RB is 3 kilonewton, RC will be 6 kilonewton. 5 plus 4, 9, 6 plus 3, 9. Okay, all right. Now, draw the datum line and draw the shear force diagram. Okay, do it on your own. Do it on your own. Draw the datum line and draw the shear force diagram, my friend. Draw the datum line and draw the shear force diagram, my friend. Draw the datum line. So this will be the datum line. Okay. At point A, there is a downward force, 4 kilonewton. So it will suddenly change from 0 to minus 4. Then from A to B, it will remain horizontal, At point B, there is an upward force, -4 plus 3. It will become -1. Then from B to C, it will remain horizontal. At point C, there is an upward force, -1 plus 6. It will become +5. Then from C to D, it will remain horizontal. Then at point D, -5 plus 5. Sorry, this is +5. So +5 minus 5, it will become 0. So this is your shear force diagram. This is your shear force diagram. Look at this diagram. Look at this diagram. From A to C, it is negative, and from C to D, it is positive. So at point C, it is changing sign. Okay. So at point C, bending moment will be maximum, my friend. Now draw the bending moment diagram. You have the shear force diagram, draw the bending moment diagram. At point C, you should get maximum bending moment. Draw the bending moment diagram. Here also, at the ends, what will be the bending moment? What will be the bending moment at the ends? There is no force at the end, sorry, there is no couple at the end. So bending moment at the end will be 0, my friend. Okay, so bending moment at the ends will be 0. Here bending moment will be 0, here bending moment will be 0. You only have to calculate bending moment at B and C. So what will be the bending moment at B? Bending moment at B will be, let me draw the datum line here. So what will be the bending moment at B? Bending moment at B, from left of B, calculate bending moment, -4 into 1. So bending moment at B will be -4. What will be the bending moment at C? Bending moment at C, you can calculate it from right, -5 into 2. So means -10. So bending moment at A 0, bending moment at B -4, bending moment at C -10, bending moment at D 0. Now draw the bending moment diagram. There is no UDL, no UVL. So we will only have straight line. From A to B straight line, from B to C straight line, from C to D straight line. So this is the bending moment diagram. This is the bending moment diagram. Look at this diagram. This diagram is completely on. This diagram is completely on negative side. Why? Because on this beam there will be only hogging. The beam will bend like this. Look at this. The beam will bend like this. You should know how the beam is going to bend because it will help us in deflection of beams. Okay. So right now I am telling you, if it is completely negative, means it will be hogging like this. Okay. So this is the bending moment diagram, my friend. This is the bending moment diagram. Now, this was the first overhang beam. Let's consider another overhang beam. Okay. Let's consider another overhang beam. Let's solve another example of overhang beam. So which example should we consider? This example. Okay. So this looks like an interesting question. All right. So let's say we have an overhang beam which only has one overhang. Okay. This time I will only consider one overhang, my friend. This time I will only consider one overhang. So let's say we have an overhang beam. From here to here there is a UDL of 20 kilonewton per meter. This is A, this is B. Then there is a support here and there is a load of 6 kilonewton here. Okay, this is 2 meter. This is C, this is D, this is 2 meter, this is 2 meter. Okay. Note this diagram, my friend, and calculate the reaction. I told you, I am not going to calculate the reaction every time for you. Calculate the reaction. Okay. Give me the reaction. Note this loading diagram and give me the reaction at point A and point C. Calculate the reaction, calculate the reaction. Okay, so let's calculate the reaction together. So this will be RA, this will be RC. Okay, so we will use the equilibrium equation. We will use the equilibrium equation. Summation of Fy equals to 0. What will you get? RA plus RC. What will you get? 20 into 2 plus 6 means 46. Now take moment at point C. Take moment at point C. What will you get? RA into 4. RA into 4 minus moment of UDL will be 20 into 2. This will be the load into distance from center of UDL. What will you get? 2 into 1, 3 plus 6 into 2 equals to 0. So what will you get? RA. What will you get? What will you get? RA. Tell me the value of RA. Tell me the value of RA. RA is what? 20 into 2, 43. 120 minus 12. 108 divided by 4. It will be 27 kilonewton. RA will be 27 kilonewton and RC will be, if RA is 27, RC will be 46 minus 27 means 19 kilonewton. Okay. So these are the values of reactions. These are the values of reactions. Now tell me what will be the shear force diagram. Draw the shear force diagram. Draw the shear force diagram, my friend. Draw the shear force diagram. And if you are able to draw the shear force diagram, means I have explained the shear force diagram very well. So give me a thumbs up, my friend. Give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Now let's draw the shear force diagram. So 0, 0, this is the datum line. What will be the shear force at point A? It will suddenly increase from 0 to 27 kilonewton. It will suddenly increase from 0 to 27 kilonewton. Okay. Then at point B, what will be the shear force? You can calculate it from right, left, you can calculate it from right. Okay. From left, what will be the shear force? 27 minus 40. 27 minus 40. 27 minus 20 into 2, 40. So 27 minus 40 means minus 13 kilonewton. 27 minus 40 means minus 13 kilonewton. And from A to B there is UDL. So it will be straight line. Then from B to C, no load means it will remain horizontal at point C. Minus 13 plus 19. It will be plus 6. Then from C to D it will remain horizontal at point D. Plus 6 minus 6 it will become 0. So this is the shear force diagram, my friend. This is the shear force diagram. Look at this diagram. From A to this point, from A to this point it is positive. Then from this point to C negative and then again positive. So it is changing shear force sign at 2 points. It is changing the sign at 2 points. One at point C. We know the location of point C, no problem. But one between A and B. Let's call it point E. So it is changing sign at 2 points. It is changing sign at C. It is changing sign at point E. So in order to calculate maximum bending moment, we need to find the location of both the point. Because bending moment can be maximum here. It can also be maximum here. So we know the location of C, but we don't know the location of E. So let's find the location of E. I told you we have two methods for finding the location of E. Similar triangle or equation. Okay. Let's say this distance is X. So you can use similar triangle or you can use the equation. I will use the equation. So shear force at E should be 0. Okay. Shear force at E should be 0. What will be the equation? 27 minus 20x will be 0. So x will be how much? 27 by 20 means 1.35 meter. 1.35 meter. Okay. So this point E will be 1.35 meter from A. Now let's draw the bending moment diagram. We have drawn the shear force diagram. Let's draw the bending moment diagram for this beam, my friend. Let's draw the bending moment diagram. Okay. Let's draw the bending moment diagram. So this is the datum line 0, 0. What will be bending moment at A? Bending moment at A will be 0. What will be the bending moment at E? Bending moment at E you have to calculate. So calculate the bending moment at E. What will you get? 27 into X means 27 into 1.35 minus moment of UDL from A to E. So it will be 20 into 1.35 into 1.35 by 2. So what will be the bending moment at E? Calculate the bending moment at E. Let me calculate it for you. Calculate the bending moment on your own calculator. So 27 into 1.35 minus 20 into 1.35 into 1.35 by 2 into 1.35 by 2. So it will be 18.225. it will be 18.225. So bending moment at this point E will be 18.225. Okay, and bending moment at B, you can calculate it from right. Bending moment at B, you can calculate it from right. 19 into 2, 38, minus 6 into 4, 24. 38 minus 24, 14. Okay. Then bending moment at C, again you can calculate it from right. It will be minus 12. 6 into 2, minus 12. And bending moment at D will be 0. So now we have the values of bending moment. Let's draw the diagram. From A to E, UDL, parabola. Shear force is decreasing, slope will be decreasing. From E to B, UDL, parabola. Shear force is increasing, so slope will be increasing. Look at this. At this point, slope is 0. Why? Because shear force at this point is 0. Then at point C, bending moment is minus 12. No load from B to C. So straight line. From C to D, again no load. So again straight line. Okay. So this is the bending moment diagram, my friend. This is the bending moment diagram. Look at this bending moment diagram, my friend. Here it is positive. Here it is negative. Why? Because from this point to this point, from this point to this point, let's say this point is F. So from A to F, it is sagging, and from F to D, it is hogging. So if you draw the bending moment diagram, then you are getting positive bending moment from A to F and negative bending moment from F to D. This is the point where bending moment is changing sign. This is the point where bending moment is changing sign. This is known as point of contraflexure. Very important, my friend. Note this down. Point of contraflexure. What is contraflexure? Let me explain it to you. Contra means opposite, flexure means bending. Contra means opposite, flexure means bending. Means on this point, on the opposite side of this point, the bending is opposite. On one side it is sagging, on other side it is hogging. On this side bending moment is positive, means sagging. On this side bending moment is negative, means hogging. So this is known as point of contraflexure, where bending moment changes sign. This point where bending moment changes sign is known as point of contraflexure. Now let's say they are asking you to find the location of this point. Find the location of this point where you have point of contraflexure. Let's say this point is F. So we have to find the location of this point. So we have two methods. We can apply similar triangle. Here also we have two triangle. We can apply similar triangle, or we can apply equation of bending moment. So let's find the point of contraflexure. Point F is point of contraflexure. We will find the point location of point of contraflexure. Let's say this distance is A. Okay, we need to find the location of A. So how will you find the location of A? You know that bending moment at F is 0. At this point, point of contraflexure, what was the bending moment? 0. Now calculate bending moment from right. So what will you get? 19 into A. Moment of 19 will be 19 into A, and moment of this will be minus 6 into 2 plus A equals to 0. So what will you get? 19A minus 12 minus 6A. So what will you get? 19 into A, 19A minus 6A minus 25A equals to minus 12. So you will get A equals to 12 by 25. Okay, A equals to 12 by 25. So you will get how much? Sorry. 19 minus 6, this will be 12A. Okay, sorry, 13A. So 12 by 13. It will be 12 by 13. It will be 12 by 13. Sorry. Sorry for the mistake. 12 by 13. So what will be 12 by 13? 12 by 13 will be 0.923. 0.923 meters. 0.923 meters means this distance is 0.923 meter. This distance will be 0.923. If you know this distance, you can calculate all the other distances. So point of contraflexure is at 0.923 meter from point C. What is point of contraflexure? It is the point where the sign of bending moment changes. It is very important because on one side the bending is sagging, on the other side bending is hogging. Contraflexure means opposite bending. Contra means opposite, flexure means bending. Okay, so on both sides the bending is opposite. That's why this point is very important. Okay, so you will get questions based on point of contraflexure. Okay, usually point of contraflexure usually is seen in overhang beams. You don't see point of contraflexure in cantilever and simply supported beam. In some rare cases you will see, otherwise usually you don't get. You get point of contraflexure usually in which type of beams? Overhang beams. Okay, so you will get theory questions based on point of contraflexure. So this was shear force and bending moment diagram of all different types of beams. I told you how to draw shear force and bending moment diagram of different beams under different loading condition. These were only one few examples. You have to draw shear force and bending moment diagram on your own. So start practicing. After this lecture ends, take any book of SOM and start practicing shear force and bending moment diagram. If you practice more, you will be able to draw this diagram very easily in exam. Okay. Now, tomorrow we will consider very interesting topics of shear force and bending moment diagram. These were direct question. Tomorrow we will solve questions from GATE. Okay, we will solve what type of questions we will see in GATE from shear force and bending moment diagram. So tomorrow's class is also very important. We will see some amazing concepts related to shear force and bending moment diagram. Okay, so this was all for today's class. Those of you who want to learn more from me, because there is a limitation of YouTube, but on Unacademy Plus there is no limitation. So if you want to learn more from me, subscribe to Unacademy Plus using my coupon code. Don't forget to use my coupon code APROOP10. You will get a 10% discount and in return I will get something. Okay, so don't forget to use my code when you are buying the subscription of Unacademy Plus, and don't forget to like and share this video as much as possible. Post this video to your Facebook, to your WhatsApp group, to your Telegram group, everywhere, wherever you are active. Post this and start increasing the number of subscribers. If our number of subscribers are too much, then there is no limit of what we can do on YouTube. Okay. All right. So this was all for today's class. Thank you very much for watching, my friends.